Hi, my name is Alejandro Gillot. I am from Guatemala, Guatemala City. I work as a tour guide, and I also have a degree in archaeology. I'm passionate. I love Mayan archaeology, and well, that's one of the reasons I've been working with STP for over a year now, which has been an amazing experience. And that's the reason why I'm here today. I would like to share with you a brief video with, reflecting some of the traditions from Guatemala. We will be discussing a little bit about archaeology, anthropology, history, and we will be able to see through images some of the beautiful traditions that Guatemala has to offer. One of the most beautiful things about being a tour guide is traveling. Traveling around a beautiful country like Guatemala is astonishing. Admiring beautiful landscapes, mountains, rivers, lakes, colonial sites, archaeological sites. But I would say that the most beautiful thing about this is being part of a living culture, a real modern Mayan culture. Being able to be part of a ceremony, being able to witness the spiritual guide performing the ceremony, performing the ritual, all the mysticism involved, every element that they have, their speech, their praying, and you being part of it is breathtaking. Being able to witness a tradition that has been going on for hundreds, even thousands of years, and being able to be part of it is astonishing. A well-known Guatemalan anthropologist tells us that painting and sculpture are manifested in space, music and poetry manifested in time. However, the art of dancing lives through time and space. Dancing and everything involved with it, clothing, painting, even masks, was born as a need for movement, as a need for expression, a political, religious, or social expression, even as a form of praying. We understand that there are many cultures throughout the world that have a very strong link between religion, dancing, and that communication with their gods. Guatemala has a long tradition of dancing, folkloric dances, tradition that we can trace back to pre-Hispanic times. But nowadays, Guatemala still has and still performs folkloric dances full of richness. Guatemala is one of the few countries in the world that possess so much wealth and variety in their dances. Dances form part of this cultural complex with a wide spectrum of activities. They are carried out on specific dates. They are executed by specific people. They are organized in groups. They require a lot of time, a lot of rehearsals, specific roles, and other elements. There is a wide variety of dances that have survived. Such dances are the dance of the conquest, or el baile de la conquista, el baile del torito, or the dance of the bull, el baile del venado, or the dance of the deer, el palo volador, or the flying pole, and the Rabinal Achi. This dance has been declared intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. Now, we can talk about two main periods, two important periods in regards of our dance elements: the pre-Hispanic dances and the Spaniard indigenous dances. The pre-Hispanic dance highlights the struggle for power, the myth concept between men becoming gods. And the Spanish indigenous dance has a very religious concept, but it has to do with that syncretism between indigenous people and foreign elements, the dance of the conquered and the conquistadores. So let's begin with the pre-Hispanic dances. The abundant evidence left by the Maya of the Classic period, evidence such as polychrome vessels, sculptures, mural painting, they show us in a very reliable way that dance and ritual representations were an essential part between the Maya rulers and the common people. In Maya classic iconography, the universal marker of dance is a pose in which the individual is depicted with his knees pointing outwards and one of its heels raised. The dancers have been identified mainly by the position of their legs. Now we are about to see a few examples of some polychrome vessels where they depict the dance positions. Now the following vase, it's known as the vase K3009. On this one you can see the depiction of several dancers being prepared before the performance, before the dance. This is the exact moment when the dancers are being prepared to offer. They are agreeing on rhythms. You can see the drum on the left side of the image. You can see the designs and the color on their skin. And you can also see them listening to what the main character indicates. Now on the following vessel, the character with the jaguar skin mask in a very ritualistic dancing position. Throughout the image, some other characters being portrayed, some of them are floating, others are just sitting down on the floor. There's a lot of movement in this vessel. And the other example that I wanted to share is Monument 23 of Quiriguá. So it's quite interesting what we saw in Monument 23 of Quiriguá. This character moving, dancing, wearing a mask and holding two masks. And the mask element is quite fascinating. Masks have been used by many cultures throughout the world and throughout history. They are present in dances, in festivities, in parades, in art, in oral tradition, in a wide variety of contexts. Its use is one of the most interesting aspects of Mesoamerican culture because they are an instrument of communication. They possess a strange meaning, a strange power of suggestion, and is present in iconography, in Mayan art, in Mayan artifacts, and we have plenty of evidence showing the importance of masks throughout Mesoamerica. Now, ancient Mesoamerican cultures used masks for different purposes. The use of masks can be traced to the pre-classic period, such as the case of Chiapa de Corzo in Mexico, where the archaeologists found a royal tomb dating approximately 700 AD. On this tomb, they found more than 3,000 jade beads and a ritual mask with Olmec features. In Guatemala, pre-classic artifacts have been found as well, such as the case of a small Olmec-style mask, or Monument 11 in Caminaljuyu, where there is a character depicted wearing a mask. Now, during the Classic period, in the context of burials, we find the jade mask of burial 160 from Tikal. This one is preserved in the Museum of Archaeology of Guatemala. We also have the jade mask of burial 80 at the site of Peru, Huaca. This jade mask was placed on the head of the ruler. As David Friedel points out, the classic Maya venerated their divine rulers and treated them after their death as living souls. We also have representations of masks in the polychrome ceremonial vessels, such as the case of vessel K533 on the Curry collection. This one is depicting 4 characters disguised as fantastic animals. They are participating in what has been called a transformation dance, because it's believed that each one of them entered a state of trance and acquired the supernatural quality of the being he was interpreting. And we can also see the representation of another ruler, this one on a vase from the Ik site, Motul de San Jose. We can see the ruler, fat, chubby ruler, wearing a mask, a frog or toad mask. Representations of masks in architecture was also common throughout the Mayan culture. Temples such as Tikal, Huachatún, or El Sots had big stucco masks, sometimes painted in different colors, like red. Those masks probably alluded the deity to which the temple was dedicated. Hence, it was usual for the same masks to be repeated around the same building. And the last example that I want to share with you is this interesting graffiti found in a wall of a room in Tikal. This drawing represents an individual with a cranial deformation, an individual that seems to impersonate a historical ancestor through his anthropomorphic mask. Now, we also have evidence during the post-classic period. We have evidence in chronicles and codex, such as the Madrid Codex, where figures carving masks are depicted. Now, with all the evidence that we've seen, iconography and art, through art, we can see that there was a strong relationship between masks and dances, and how both played an important role throughout the religion of the ancient Maya. Masks play a predominant representative, symbolic, and anthropological role. They were meant to communicate a message. With the arrival of the Spaniards, the traditional masks ceased to have a religious, magical sense, and it transforms and became kind of like a disguise. The meaning and the concept of dancing clearly changed, and this is when a different type of masks evolved. The Spaniard mask, the angels, the devils, and all the animal representations of masks. Despite the modifications due to Christianity imposed during the colony times, traditional Guatemalan dances have resisted the passage of time. They have survived. They've never disappeared. There is documentation indicating that in the 17th and 18th centuries, there were already dance masters, as well as what we know as morerias, and those are establishments where costumes and masks were rented. And moreros, and the moreros are the people who attended those businesses, as well as the mascareros, and the mascareros are the mask carvers. Well, after independence in 1821, costumes were further promoted. By the end of the 19th century, some morerias were recognized for their excellent works. They even formed important dynastic establishments in different regions of Guatemala, such as Chichicastenango, or Chichi, where the Ignacio family still makes fabulous Guatemalan masks. There is a huge number of designs and sizes, but experts have classified Guatemalan's masks into three types: anthropomorphic, human shape or human appearance; zoomorphic, animal appearance; and mythical, representing a divine character. And this is a map of Guatemala, indicating where masks are manufactured. As we've seen throughout this video, we can say and we can state that dancing and the mask elements, they still have a deep magical religious meaning that goes back to the ancient Maya times. I want to share with you this image. This takes place in Cobán, Alta Verapaz, and the image shows masks one night before their use. So there is a person in charge of praying before the masks, and this is in order for everything to be just perfect the way that it should be. And this is the kind of experience that sometimes we don't get to see, but it's there. It's real. That's the beauty of it. Dances and masks, they express victory. In some regions, they are used to get rid of evil spirits, or to celebrate big festivity or marriage, or just to ask for a good harvest. Elements that sometimes go beyond our knowledge. So I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave you with some images, some Guatemalan masks that you can find on the Google Arts and Culture app. They are part of the British Museum collection, and I hope you enjoy them.